Honda introduces the one model our competitors hoped we'd never offer, a V6 Accord. Positioned to enhance the sense of confidence Accord owners feel behind the wheel. Offered as a sedan in EX and EXR trim levels, the new V6 is state-of-the-art. But Honda didn't just drop in a bigger engine. They extensively refined the entire car to keep the crisp handling and responsive ride Accord is known for. Let's get specific. Besides the engine story, there is a stronger, stiffer body, a refined suspension, and a quiet, comfortable ride. The long-awaited Accord 2.7-liter V6 power plant produces 170 horsepower with 165 pound-foot of torque. And for the first time in a Honda engine, the valve tappets are hydraulic. This not only yields quiet action, it means they're self-adjusting, reducing the need for maintenance. They operate like valves, filling with oil to maintain exact clearance for optimum valve operation. The engine is based on the proven Acura V6 with significant enhancements. For example, the crankshaft has been rebalanced, helping to enhance overall smoothness. The dual intake manifold has been redesigned, boosting low-end torque and helping to provide smooth acceleration throughout the power band. A redesigned AC compressor provides greater efficiency and less weight. Passenger comfort has been addressed by revised fluid-filled engine mounts that help dampen engine vibration at idle and under full throttle. A large air cleaner helps reduce air intake noise to a whisper. Plus, there's a dual-outlet exhaust with a low-noise muffler. In the area of emission control, an advanced OBD2 onboard diagnostic computer provides increased reliability and reduced maintenance costs, well ahead of U.S. government regulations. And the two-stage grade logic automatic transmission helps provide shifting action that's so quiet and silky smooth, it's barely detectable. Looking now at the body, Honda designers stretched the front fenders and lengthened the hood 70 millimeters, almost 3 inches. The result? More room for the new V6 engine and a longer, more elegant look. The front grille has been modified to give the V6 models a sportier, more aggressive look. There's chrome trim and a centered H mark. And the rubber meets the road on wider Michelin MXV tires mounted on 15 by 6-inch wheels with aggressively styled alloys on the EXR V6. And the front disc brakes have been enlarged and are equipped with ABS standard, providing impressive stopping power. The Accord V6 suspension was also modified. Fluid-filled rear bushings cushion better and help absorb sharp jolts from the likes of potholes or highway expansion joints, helping to maintain a soft, smooth ride quality without compromising handling ability. To help control noise, vibration, and harshness, NVH, there are added damping materials in the front floor, in the rear roof pillar, and along the dash. Lift the hood and hydraulic struts keep it open without the need for a retaining rod. And to further help in noise reduction, there's a full-sized hood blanket. The net result, the Accord body and chassis are ready to provide an exhilaratingly increased level of well-rounded performance, balanced with no compromises. The EXR V6 also offers buyers an exclusive level of added luxury, an 8-way power driver's seat. Variable intermittent wipers and map lights are standard on both EX V6 and EXR V6 models. Balanced performance, a smooth, quiet ride, an exclusive level of luxury and comfort. The Accord V6, designed and engineered to make our competitors head for the exit. The #1 selling retail car in North America in 1994. The highest anticipated resale value in its class. At or near the top of its class in initial quality and dependability. '94 Motor Trend Import Car of the Year. Honda strengthens the Accord line by the arrival of the long-anticipated V6 models. We're putting the Accord against 4 key competitors to give you real-world selling skills against Contour, Camry, Cirrus, and Maxima.
In any given week, I may test up to 6, 8, even 10 cars. I'm excited to ring out the Accord. Out here, you never listen to what the factory tells you in the specs. You dial it up. Push the cars until they fight you. Then you step back and analyze what you've learned. Sometimes it can be pretty surprising.
When they developed Contour, Ford openly admitted that they were setting their sights on the Honda Accord as their target for quality and drivability. And while they've come a long way in producing a quality automobile, the Honda Accord is still a car ahead.
This is the V6 powered Contour, equipped with Ford's new Duratec 2.5-liter, 24-valve, double overhead cam, all aluminum V6.
Power ratings are very similar to the Accord EX V6, and like the Accord, the Ford engine uses a variable length intake manifold to boost low-end torque while maintaining high-end performance.
From all initial reports, it's a good engine. The Accord V6 is a refined version of the engine used by Honda on the early model Acura Legends. It has a long development history and a great reputation for reliable performance. On the road with Contour, you start to notice some of the problems that come up with a new model. On the standard 5-speed, the gearbox is a little mushy and it takes a firm hand for a positive shift.
Automatic transmission and anti-lock brakes are extra cost options on the Contour, while these features are standard on the Accord V6.
The vehicle body is not as well isolated as in the Accord V6 double wishbone with fluid-filled rear bushings. A considerable amount of road noise finds its way through the suspension into the passenger compartment. Plus, the handling of the SC is stiffer than the Accord. Fine for sporty buyers, but not for family use.
Unlike Accord, Contour does not offer variable assist steering, which adjusts the steering boost to provide optimum maneuverability at slow speeds and better ride feel at higher speeds. And Contour's longer turning diameter affects maneuverability. Contour is smaller than Accord in virtually every dimension. There is less front and rear headroom, as well as less front and rear shoulder room, hip room, and front leg room.
The rear seat is extremely cramped and doesn't work well for families. The narrow door openings impede your shoes and make it tough to get in and out.
Car and Driver reported that tight quarters in back could conceivably cripple this car. It doesn't have the unified look or ergonomic feel that people love about the Accord. Radio buttons are small, which means the driver has to take his attention off the road to change stations.
The power window switches are in the door pull. And, like the buried seat recliner lever, these functions are hard to use. The trunk uses old-style hinges that swing down into the load space. It's less usable and could possibly damage cargo.
Compared to a new car line like Contour, Accord pays closer attention to detail and offers a higher level of refinement. Many interior features that are standard on the Accord EX V6, power door locks, power windows, map lights, even air conditioning, are extra cost options on the top-of-the-line Contour SE. This adds more than $1,000 to the real price. Lease residuals are also higher for Accord.
There's no doubt about it. You'll be selling to more and more customers who have test-driven Contour.
But when the Detroit Free Press compared the Contour and the Accord, along with the Chrysler Cirrus, they wrote, "When you're voting with your own money, you tend to plonk it down on the square that inspires the most confidence. That square belongs to Honda." Contour is an all-new compact sedan and competitor from Ford. Accord's strengths are a more sophisticated V6 engine for smoother performance, a quieter ride due to better road noise damping, better interior comfort due to more front shoulder and hip room, better interior ergonomics, more standard features, and 5 generations of Honda quality against an untested all-new car. It's no secret that Toyota Camry is a well-made car, but in a head-to-head comparison, the Honda Accord leaves the Camry sitting in the dark. The Camry sedan is a 3-year-old design with very few modifications. To give the car a wider lower look, they revised the grille and bumper and revamped the headlights. And while they've tweaked the rear taillights, the car is basically unchanged. It still has the long front overhang. That's because of a wheelbase that's nearly 4 inches shorter than the Accord. Along with detracting from the look, the shorter wheelbase also translates into a ride that's not quite as smooth or comfortable. When you first look at the specifications, both the Accord EX V6 and the EXR V6 and the Camry Base and LE V6 appear to have similar engine technology. Both feature power plants with aluminum alloy construction for lighter weight and a 4-valve per cylinder head design.
But look behind the spec sheets and get behind the wheel, and it's a whole different story. Honda's racing heritage and sophisticated technology make a real difference in the way these cars perform.
While the Camry engine is larger and has a higher horsepower rating, much of that size advantage is erased by the Accord's use of innovative technology, like the dual-stage induction system. At low RPM, the longer rudder length provides a ram effect to boost low and middle-range torque. At higher RPM, a butterfly valve opens to let in a greater volume of air, resulting in a better top-end performance. This advanced technology is not available on the Toyota. And with transmission technology like Honda's Grade Logic Control, you don't get that jerky feel of gear hunting while driving uphill or downhill. Another important performance benefit comes from Honda's race-proven independent double wishbone suspension that helps to get more of the power down to the ground. Compared to the Camry strut-type suspension, the double independent wishbone design keeps the wheels tracking true. Less body roll through tight corners. And a more sure-footed, comfortable ride over the roughest of roads. Look again at Camry on the cornering event, this time in slow motion. Side-to-side rolling means less sure-footed handling. Accord's composed handling gives the driver more control and aids traction.
One thing salespeople can do to show this to comparison shoppers, take them on a winding road like this with the Accord and give it some power. If they've test-driven the Camry, they'll notice a difference right away.
For better steering control during hard braking, both the Accord EX V6 and EXR V6 come with a standard anti-lock brake system, which is an expensive option on the Camry LE V6. While interior dimensions are similar, the Camry LE offers less headroom front and rear than the comparable Accord EX V6.
The Toyota Camry is a formidable competitor, but when it comes to real-world driving conditions, the Honda Accord offers a better balance of performance, ride, and handling, and that makes the Accord a better overall value.
Toyota Camry V6 features an older design with more front and rear overhang, a less advanced engine and strut suspension, offsetting the Camry V6 horsepower advantage, and an LE model with less headroom and no standard anti-lock brakes. Cirrus is a brand new compact sedan with a distinctive look. There are good reasons for its styling, lots of visibility from a large glass area and low cowl line.
There are lots of things about the Cirrus that are clearly Accord-like. Aerodynamics, for instance. See how the body forms a wedge if you look at it in profile? And there's a front chin spoiler to help channel the wind. Designers had driving in mind when they put this body together. Let's take a look under the hood.
The engine is a 162 horsepower V6, 8 less than the Accord V6. It was designed for Chrysler by Mitsubishi. Both engines produce the same torque, but Cirrus does not have a dual-stage intake manifold for better power at low and mid-range. The Accord starts smooth and powerful off the line. The V6 has hydraulic valve lifters for quieter performance and lower maintenance. There is a premium ride feel that you'd expect from an upscale car.
From a dead stop, the Cirrus seems clearly slower. That's odd, because the horsepower difference isn't that great. And listen. Noisy and rough at RPMs above 5,000. But there's another important reason the performance is weaker. I'm going to power through this passing situation. So, why would a car with about the same horsepower as the Accord V6 feel a lot less powerful off the line? Why? The transmission. There's a lag between the time when you hit the gas and it kicks down into a lower gear. It can make a difference when you're trying to pass on a highway. This doesn't happen on the Accord.
Automobile Magazine commented, "The engine feels choked by a transmission tuned more for smooth shifts than crisp performance." The Cirrus is not equipped with anything similar to Accord's grade logic control system. On this hill, there's a lot of gear hunting as the transmission tries to decide if it wants to shift into third or fourth.
Another factor in ride comfort is suspension. Cirrus has a double wishbone suspension similar to the Accord's, and it runs very smooth until you hit bumps. A loud drumming comes from the rear suspension not damping as well as the Accord's. Where does this come from?
On the V6 Accord, Honda engineers isolated the car body from the wheels with a liquid-filled trailing arm. The liquid-filled bushing is at a key pivot point where the trailing arm attaches to the body. Cirrus uses rubber bushings, which do not isolate the body from drumming.
Both cars have standard anti-lock braking systems, but Cirrus has rear drum brakes. When stopping, you don't lose control, but you don't have the same sure-footed feel of Accord's four-wheel discs. And there's quite a bit more nosedive during hard braking for the Cirrus. This means the load is taken off the rear wheels, which can lose traction in a quick stop.
As far as comfort, there is less front and rear headroom in the Cirrus. Taller drivers might have a problem, and there is also less front legroom and shoulder room. Critics have commented on the seating comfort. One reviewer for Automobile Magazine remarked that Cirrus seats are not quite as firm and supportive as those found in a Honda. Another driving comfort you'll miss is a power sunroof, not available on any Cirrus. The major advantages the Accord V6 has over Cirrus are more power and smoother acceleration, quieter engine performance, a more advanced transmission for crisper shifts, a better damped suspension for smoother ride, more headroom and better seating comfort, better value, and the Honda reputation for reliability. Maxima is new with a V6 producing 20 more horsepower than Accords. Nissan calls this new generation Maxima smarter. The Maxima suspension has also been redesigned. And here you will find a major difference between the cars. Nissan saved a lot of production costs by using a beam axle for the rear suspension. The rigid beam connects the two rear wheels.
Since the Maxima wheels aren't isolated, when one hits a bump, energy is transmitted across the axle to the other wheel.
The Maxima brochure even compares its twist beam to double wishbone. It claims that its twist beam has better grip through corners and on uneven road surfaces.
In the real world, potholes, gravel, and washboard may cause a solid axle to lose traction. Watch what happens when I power through this corner. One wheel hits the bump, causing the rigid rear axle to lose its grip.
Perhaps that's why AutoWeek said, "We like the old one," in comparing the previous generation Maxima suspension with the new twist beam. On the Accord, the suspension isolates each wheel independently. It corners more compliantly.
Another comparison point is the transmission. Maxima does not offer grade logic. We'll take a hill here. The transmission hunts between third and fourth gear on the downhill. Accord's grade logic holds the transmission in third for climbing or descending, so it's the Accord transmission that's smarter. Maxima does not offer variable assist steering. Steering is stiffer, as you miss the adjust and boost for low and high-speed driving.
Inside, the Maxima styling makes it appear larger than the Accord, but the Maxima wheelbase is actually shorter and has less rear headroom than the Accord EX V6.
Maxima offers about 1.5 cubic feet more trunk volume than the Accord. About this much. How useful is this extra space? The trunk hinges intrude into the cargo space, possibly damaging tall items like luggage. Accord's hinge struts don't intrude into the trunk to better protect cargo. Maxima's trunk also offers only a small pass-through that does not lock. You miss the utility of Accord's locking fold-down rear seat back.
Accord EX V6 offers standard anti-lock brakes, which are optional on Maxima GXE. The major advantages of the Accord over the Maxima are the superior handling of Accord's independent double wishbone suspension, its smarter grade logic transmission that helps prevent gear hunting on hills, its longer wheelbase resulting in greater headroom for rear passengers, the Accord's locking fold-down rear seat back, and the value of Accord's standard features.
New V6 strengthens the Accord model lineup and gives you a powerful response to challenges from some very good competition. I'm excited about its performance and impressed by the level of detail Honda engineers went to create a more premium ride, handling, and performance. Ford, Chrysler, Nissan, even Toyota don't match the Accord car line's refinement and balance, perfected over model after successful model.